I made over £540 profit yesterday selling my own private label products on Amazon. If you want to generate similar numbers, you need to make sure you pick the correct model depending on your situation. Because if you pick the wrong model, you're not only going to waste a lot of time, but also going to waste a lot of money. There are four main models to make money on Amazon. In this video, I'm going to explain you what these four models are, what are the positive and negative points of these models, and at the end of the video, I'm going to explain you which model you should pick depending on your situation so you don't waste any time or money. So the first model to make money on Amazon is dropshipping. And how dropshipping works is you list something on Amazon which you don't actually have, and then you wait until you get the order. And once you get the order, so you buy that product at a lower price from somewhere else and then ship that product to the customer, and then you just keep the profit in between. And that's basically how dropshipping works. The only positive point of dropshipping is it's pretty cheap to start, because the only cost you have is the setup cost. After that, you're not holding an inventory, so you can list as many products as you want and wait until you get the orders and then fulfill the orders. But there are loads of negative points during dropshipping. The biggest point is Amazon doesn't allow it. So if Amazon finds out that you are doing dropshipping, Amazon will ban your account straight away. You will be banned from Amazon for life. Another negative point of dropshipping is the margins are pretty low. Also, it's a very high risk business. So this is the model I would never recommend anyone to do. Also, you're not building your own brand, so it's not really a long-term business. The other model to make money on Amazon is called arbitrage, and there are two sub-models in arbitrage. One is retail arbitrage, another one is online arbitrage. And how arbitrage works is you go and find cheaper products on either in the supermarket, or you find them online and you buy them at lower price, and then you send these products to Amazon, and then you sell these products at a higher cost. There are apps which you can use and scan the products in the supermarket. So if you find a product on clearance section or on a deal in Tesco's or Argos, and that product is selling on a higher price on Amazon, then you'll buy that product. You keep the profit in between. That's how arbitrage works. So you can either find these products in the actual shops, which is retail arbitrage, or you can do that online, and that's called online arbitrage. The plus point of doing arbitrage is also pretty cheap to start, because you can literally start with a couple of £100. You can go and find 10 products at £10 and send them to Amazon. That's £100. Obviously, you're not going to make a fortune on it, but instead of doing nothing, it's at least a start. Other plus point of arbitrage is instant returns. Because you're not running any ads, you're not spending time in photography or making your own listing. So once you sell that item, you just keep the profit. So you get instant returns. Even you're making £10 or £15 a day, you start to see the profit instantly. The negative points of arbitrage are it's very time constrained. So you'll have to spend a lot of time looking for the deals, especially if you're doing retail arbitrage. You have to go shops to keep finding these deals. So someday you might find these deals quickly, and some days you might spend hours and hours and won't find any deals. There's no guarantee of income. It's not sustainable. 1 month you might make a lot of money, another month you might not find any deal. Also, the margins are very thin, because after paying Amazon fees and all the Amazon commission, you're left with maybe under 10% profit margin. So the third model to make money on Amazon is wholesale. So now this is where you, instead of looking for deals, you go and speak to wholesalers and buy stock in bulk. So you buy hundreds or thousands of units and then send them to Amazon, and then wait till you get the sale. This is how wholesale works. So instead of now looking at individual products in arbitrage, now you'll be buying in bulk. So there are also two sub-models in wholesale. One is where you actually just go and buy from wholesalers. The other model is where you actually go and cut that wholesaler and goes directly to the brand and get the brand exclusivity, and then buy from brand. You slightly increase your margin because you're cutting middleman as the wholesaler, and you're buying directly from brand and you get the exclusivity, and then you sell on Amazon. So that means not a lot of people can go and get that exclusivity. So then you have less competition. So that's one way that a lot of people do and scale wholesale. So the plus points of doing wholesale is pretty low risk, because you're buying brands that are already selling well on Amazon. Also, you don't need to make the listings, you don't need to run any ads. It's pretty easy to start. The profits you'll see instantly. The negative point of wholesale is you don't have a control over the brand. So if you are doing the wholesaler model, so you're always fighting on the price, which is not a good strategy. So that means your margins always getting lower and lower, and anyone can go and buy product from that wholesaler. So you're not really building a brand, you're just selling other branded products. So your account really doesn't have any value. You're not building any asset. If you are doing hundreds and thousands of pounds a month on Amazon, you can't really sell that account to somebody else. It doesn't have any value. All you are a reseller, you're just selling other branded products. So you're not really building a long-term asset. So the last and fourth model to make money on Amazon is private label, which is what I do. And even in private label, there are two sub-models. The first model is white label, and the other model is called brand building. So how white label works is you find products using softwares like Helium. I have a discount code for Helium in the description if you're interested. So you can use tools like Helium to find products, and then you go on Alibaba and just slap your logo on that product and sell it on Amazon. You're not developing a product. All you're doing is changing the branding and then selling these products on Amazon, which is a lot of people do because it's quite easy to do that way. And the other brand building, which is what I do, is a harder way, but it's more rewarding. White label, people just find any random product. So let's say you're selling water bottle and then you're selling a massage gun, or you're selling a yoga mat. So you're selling all random products. You're not actually building a brand. In brand building, you build a brand. All your products are around that brand, and then that helps you increase the average order value and other things. So the brand building is where your account, where your brand has more value. So if your brand is doing 10,000 or 15,000 or 20,000 profit a month, later on the line, if you want, you can go and sell that whole brand at 20x or 30x of his profit. You can go and look at website like Empire Flipper, and you can see how people are selling a whole Amazon brands there, and they can get 20 to 30x depend on how mature the brand is. So the plus point of doing private label is that the margins are high, and the other main benefit of doing your own private label is you've got full control over the brand. So you don't have issues like other models like Arbitrage and Wholesale, where you are relying on the brand and they're controlling you completely. And also it's really scalable, so you can keep adding more and more products into your brand and keep making more and more profit and keep expanding your brand. So the scalability is huge. You can go up to millions and millions of pounds a month if you want in private label. Also, one of the good benefits of doing private label is once you have an established product, it doesn't really require a lot of time. So it's kind of running on automation where you just keep an eye on things, where a lot of things are running automatically. So even if you go hundreds of thousands of pounds a month in revenue, you can do it on your own. But also there are some negative points of doing private label business. One of the biggest negative is high risk. So if you pick a wrong product and if you spend a lot of time and money, product doesn't sell well, you could be stuck with a lot of inventory. Another negative point of private label is constant learning. You have to stay on top of things. Amazon keep bringing new changes all the time. So it's not like set and forget. You have to keep yourself up to date with Amazon policies. Also, it's a huge learning curve. So you need to learn how to find these products, how to source these products, how to speak to suppliers. And then there's a lot of things you need to learn. So the learning curve is a lot higher in private label business. That's why the barrier to entry is higher. A lot of people don't jump into private label because there's a lot of learning required. But also, in the earlier months, you will be probably running on negative. So that means that because you have to spend a lot of money in advertising, any profit you make will go back in your advertising. So in the beginning months, you might be running your account in a loss. But obviously, when the time passes and the product matures, you will be going towards the profit. But it sometimes can take months, up to 3 to 6 months to bring a profit. So these are the top 4 models to make money on Amazon. And which model should you pick on your situation? So there are 4 situations where I think everybody will fit in. The first one is limited time and money. The other one is time but limited money. The other one is money but limited time. And the last and final and the best category to be in is time and money. If you are somebody who has time but limited money, I would advise you to start with arbitrage. Because you don't have much cash, you are limited. So instead of doing nothing, at least start arbitrage. You're not going to make a fortune, but at least as a start, what your goal should be is to start making profit. You save up enough to move yourself in the other business model where you're going to make big money, like wholesale or private label. And if you are somebody who has money but limited time, you can look at wholesale or private label, depend on how much risk you are happy to take. If you are somebody who doesn't like to take too much risk, then maybe you need to look at wholesale. But if you are somebody who is happy to take a little bit of risk, but obviously there's more reward, if you're happy to go on that route, then I would highly advise you to start private label. And if you are somebody who has money and time, you should definitely start looking at private label, because you can generate a good amount of money on private label. And remember, end of the day, any model you do, private label is where you're going to end up. You watch other YouTubers, they start with dropshipping, they start with arbitrage, and they go wholesale, and they all end up in private label, because private label is the only sustainable and scalable business where you can make serious money. So your goal should always be to end up in private label. Now it depends on your situation, how quickly you can get to that stage. If you got a lot of money, you can get quickly to the private label stage. But if you don't have much money, start with arbitrage, and maybe slowly move to wholesale, and then have enough amount save up that you can start doing your own private label business. If you are interested to learn how much does it cost to start a private label business, you can watch my video here. So I hope you found this video helpful, and remember, generating £500 a day is not a get rich quick scheme. It's gonna take you a lot of time, and it's a long and painful process. It's taken me over 3 years to get to this stage, so you're not gonna get to this stage overnight. So it's all about being consistent and have patience. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.